in front of the Stuga here at Gammelgården Museum in Scandia, Minnesota. This little red building was built as a replica of the home immigrants lived in before they became immigrants and moved someplace else. It's a Stuga, which in Swedish was understood to mean the home of peasants. They lived multi-generationally. It was painted red. Come on inside and see what it looks like. This family's getting ready to go to America. Now that we're inside, you can look around and try to imagine living in this house with your in-laws and your 4 or 5 children. But the big decision is you're going to America. You're going to leave Grandma and Grandpa back here in Sweden. So you are preparing to go to America. And one of the things in the 1850s was you had to provide your own food. The shipping company provided salt herring and water each day. Other than that, it was up to you. They gave you a list of suggested items to bring and the quantities. Here is a copper kettle that was made in Småland for a family. They had 2 of these kettles, and they filled both of them with this kind of crisp bread, the knäckebröd, for their journey. And it came directly to Scandia from Sweden in the 1850s with one of our immigrant families. If you're going to America, of course you have to take a trunk, and you build it yourself. And then you and your spouse start the conversations. What do we take? What will we need to start over life in America? For this family, they are going to America to be farmers. So of course they know they need to take tools. And they're advised by the shipping company, take your tools, don't leave home without them, but don't take the handles with, because handles are bigger than your trunk. So here we see several tools ready to go for the farmer, but no handles. The housewife has to think about what to take too, to take care of her family and to help create a home. So she thinks about all the chores that she does and the various tasks, and of course, what would life be without a shears? This is a wonderful thing to take to America. It can cut anything. It's designed to shear a sheep, but you can use it to cut hide off of an animal that you have hunted. You could cut your children's hair. You could cut cloth. It would be like taking a Swiss Army knife on a scouting trip. Don't leave home without it. The other thing to take is this, and it's to cut sugar, because sugar was one of the food items you were admonished to bring to America, and it was homemade sugar from sugar beets. It's cone-shaped after it's been refined, so you need this to cut off a chunk and then mash it for your coffee or grind it up for baking purposes. But again, don't leave home without your sugar cutter. Other food items that you'll need on your trip are dried foods, smoked or salted. They won't spoil. So here you see packages of dried peas and beans for the trip to America. Remember the knäckebröd that you saw hanging from the pole in the Stuga? When you make knäckebröd, you have to punch holes in it so that it can toast dry. So of course, you would take the tool to poke the holes in your knäckebröd. This was also a sentimental tool because your husband made it for you and presented it to you on your birthday. The Swedes were by law Lutheran and Christian, so most of them packed a Bible in their own language, the Swedish language, so that it could comfort them. It could be the educational tool to teach their children their language, and of course to bring them up in the faith of their family. Personal items could be tucked in this trunk. You see we have a doll. There'd be extra material, perhaps other books that you owned. Sweden was a very literate country. Candles, saws, untold things in here. Most of them practical, a few sentimental. And then of course on the cover, you would incise your name and your destination. This was like your checked luggage. You won't see a lot of these items until you land in New York and then move on to your final destination. Thanks for being in the Stuga. We're ready to move on to another building. Bye-bye.